Good afternoon. Welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn and my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live video where I try to inspire you and show you some great ideas and share card making with you. This afternoon, I hope you'll indulge me. I have a card to share with you that I want to make. I really love the card and love how it turned out, but I want to change it up a little bit. But this card does have a lot of steps, so I hope you'll hang in there with me and enjoy the card that I have to share with you. This is a diorama card, so it folds flat to fit into a standard envelope, okay, and then pops up. And I was showing it to my friend Emma this morning, and she said it would look nice with a little candle inside as well, just to light it up with a little bit of light inside, which I think is a fabulous idea, Emma. Okay, so this diorama card, I have a standard size for my diorama cards so that they can fit inside a standard envelope. You can make 2 of them out of 1 sheet of A4 cardstock, and I have scored the cardstock at 11 centimetres, 14 centimetres, so this is 3 centimetres. So the box itself is 11 by 3. Okay, so the first score line is 11. The next one is at 3. 11 plus 3 is 14, plus 11 is 25, plus 3 is 28. And I've just left the leftover piece of cardstock there for the join. So when we fold it all up, 1, 2, 3, 4 folds, we've got that little bit that's there for the join. Okay, so this bit here is the piece on the front of my card. So first thing I'm going to do is, I have some Country Woods for paper here, so I'm going to just stick this around the outside edges. I don't want any glue on the inside because I'm about to cut the window out here, but I just want to put a little bit on the outside edges. Now you can do these 2 things separately to die cut the window. However, you want to be pretty sure that you have them both positioned in exactly the same place so that they line up. So, and designer series paper is quite a little bit thinner than the actual cardstock, so it does work pretty well. Okay, so now on this card here, my original, I've used the Stitched Shapes largest square die, but for this one I thought I'd try some new dies. These dies here come with, they are coming in January. They're the Memorable Blooms dies. So there's 1, 2, 3 dies that coordinate with the 3 floral images, and then there's this really interesting octagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octagon shape that is actually in 2 pieces, and this is the one I want to use, and this lovely leaf, which I think is really nice. Okay, so this is a sneak peek of a new set. So I'm going to pop that right in the center there, and I'll just add a bit of washi tape to hold it in the middle. Oh, hold it in the place so it doesn't move. There we go, just pop you there. Now I'm going to die cut this one. I'll pop that in the middle so you can admire that. Well, hopefully admire that while I just cut this out. Just pop that in here. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look and see what it looks like with the octagon in the center of the card. I'll pull this off here. Okay. Take my die out there, pop that over there. Rightio, pull you out. Right, so because I didn't put any glue around too close to the edges, I've got my separate pieces, and I want this one separate because I'm going to put that on the back on the writing panel of my card. I'll stamp that, and you've got an extra bit of designer series paper in that lovely shape. Okay, so now that we've got that bit done, we can stick the box together, and to do that I'm going to use, I do like to use tear and tape when I'm doing boxes and projects like that, just because it's a bit stronger and much easier to use. Okay, I put 2 strips of tear and tape there. And the other thing I would recommend always, whenever you are putting together a box that you need to fold flat, is that you stick it flat as well in the folded position. Okay, so pull those both off and line that up. You get a better adhesion that way. And then there's my diorama box ready to go. Okay, with the first bit. While I'm sticking things, I can stick my other piece of designer series paper on the back of my box. Okay, just line you up, put you there. Okay, so there's the basics of the box. Now, the next steps for my box, I have some balmy blue, and that's going to go right inside there. I should show you the inspiration for this card. It actually comes from the mini catalogue. So the first step to creating this card was when I saw this lovely project right there. That lovely snowy background and the little village and the tree and the wood grain frame. So that's why I've used the Country Woods paper on the back of my diorama card. Okay, here next I'm going to create my falling snow background. I'm using this fabulous stamp set, Falling Snow. It's a great background stamp set. It needs to go on the largest block, and I'm going to heat emboss it white to make those lovely stars show up really nicely. Okay, so to do that, actually it's always a good idea when you buy your white ink pad, it comes with a empty ink pad and an ink refill. And it's always a good idea to re-ink your ink pad, your white, just before you use it, every time you use it, okay? So I'll just add some ink there and use the nozzle of my ink refill to just rub that into the ink pad, okay? And the white ink is very sticky and is a pigment-based ink, so it takes a little bit longer to dry, which means it's perfect for when you want to do heat embossing. I do need to put a scrap piece of paper underneath there. Okay, and because this stamp is so large, I'm going to stamp it upside down. Just add the ink to the stamp. All right, shut my ink pad and pop my stamp straight over the top. There we go. And I love using the white ink rather than Versamark when I'm heat embossing because I can see where it is. All right, now I do want to add my white embossing powder to this. Okay, throw that all around. I might have to move that. There we go. And as it's a sort of starry background, it doesn't really matter how precise it is to be specific. So I'll just add some heat and heat that up. When you're heat embossing, it's a good idea to just leave your tool in one place until the images are heated. You'll see them get a lot whiter. That way you've got less chance of missing something. So it's different to drying your hair where you swish it around. When you use a heat tool, you just move it around slowly as you heat up the powder. Almost done. Can you see it going white as I move the heat tool over the top? Over there. Okay, how am I going? Any left to go? I think that'll do me. And given the nature of this card, it's probably not too worrying if it hasn't all come up because I'll put the trees right in front of that bit there. Okay, so now I can stick that one into my card. Just put my adhesive on there and I'll slide that over, and I'm going to cover up the join where we joined the card together with this sheet here. Okay, so pop that there. There we go. Now the next bit I'm going to do is to create my trees. I'm using a couple of different stamp sets. I'm using Frosted Forest and Peaceful Evergreens to do my trees. I'll use the Frosted Forest ones first. And these were because I didn't have the little town that was illustrated in the catalogue from my inspiration picture. So there we go. There's the large tree stamped. And the next size tree. And last of all, these trees for the foreground. Okay, I think that's all the shaded spruce I need. I'll just pop you over there. And now with the Frosted Forest, actually, just before I put that stamp set around, I just need to clean that one because I'm going to stamp this tree one again straight over the top, but offset it a little bit. When it gets die cut, it won't have all of those trees, but it will look like a fuller than if I just leave them empty. Okay, and I'll also stamp on this one for the back, and I do need some shaded spruce for that one as well. Here we go. And double stamp that. Maybe another one over there. There we go. That's my writing panel for the back, completely done. And just wipe you off. Okay, so I can pop that aside. Now, I need to use the Frosted Forest masks. The Frosted Forest has a gum tree, and it also has these fabulous trees. And they are numbered A, B, and C. So for A, I'm going to line up my large tree here and use my Shy Shamrock first. I love these combination of Shy Shamrock and shaded spruce. It's a very pretty combination. Just add some pretty green to my tree. And then line up my little tree while I'm at it. And do okay, and then the next layer, number B layer, I'm going to line that up again underneath for the shadow of the branches, and I'm going to use the shaded spruce for this one. So I've got my shaded spruce and my shaded spruce blending brush. Oops. There we go. And then my little tree as well. Line it up to add some shadows to my tree. Here we are. Where are we? No, it's better down there. There we go. And then the last layer of the trees, I'll pop you aside. I love the way adding the colour adds more depth to the trees. It just looks amazing. Now my C layer, I'm going to add, which one will I do first? Might do this one first, because I'm going to use on these trees embossing paste, shimmery white embossing paste, and this is the snowy layer. We don't have any snow, in Australia at all, where I live in Queensland. It's a very hot place, and especially not in Christmas time because it's our summer. But I just think snow, well, all the photos I've seen, the reality is probably quite different, but all the photos I've seen, snow on pine trees looks so pretty. So I'm going for the romantic image. It's probably practically not that pretty. However, in my little Queensland mind, I think it is. There we go. brand new pot of shimmery white. I have had a great deal of fun this year using shimmery white embossing paste. Okay, so with the mask, I'm going to add my shimmery white embossing paste. There we are. Scrape off the excess, and oops, this will be tricky because I am putting the mask over the top of the embossing paste because I've got them together, but I will not layering it down just yet till I've worked out where I'm supposed to be going with this tree. There is a way you can make it easy to know where it is, and that's to line up this little notch on the left hand side. However, I didn't do that. So just add some more embossing paste to this tree. And then we're going to add heat with the heat tool, and it all puffs up and looks really cool. Okay, I do have to close this up and clean off my tool and my mask really quickly because the embossing paste does dry with a texture. So I just want to wipe off the excess there so I don't have a rough textured mask for the next time I use it. I have to do that straight away. Okay, pop you aside. Look at my lovely sparkly hands. Looks like I've been having fun. Okay, now with the heat tool again, I'm going to add heat to these trees to dry it. And also when you add heat, it puffs it up and makes it look very snowy, which is rather pretty. Can you see it puffing up there? And on this one, it'll be less puffy because I covered it up with the mask. This looks sparkly. There we go. Let me just have a feel. Yep, that feels like it's all dry. Okay, now I need to just trim them so that I can die cut the trees out, because like every good Stampin' Up! Stamp set, it has dies that coordinate, which makes cutting it out so much easier. Okay, so the dies I'm using are the Peaceful Evergreens dies for this little guy here, and the Frosted Forest dies for, oops, not you, this one and this one. Okay, I'll just pull in my little mini die cutting machine with my, okay, I'll do you first, give the others a bit more longer to dry, and line up my die around the trees, run that through. I apologise if I'm wriggling the camera. Okay, next, this one. And that lines up around the tree very nicely. It's great that the die cutting machine goes in both directions. Hey, backwards and forwards. You can just whiz it both ways. And then, last of all, my large tree, which has its beautiful bumpy snow. So hopefully it doesn't get too squished by being die cut. There we go. And there's my tree there. Okay, pop you over there, and let's start putting our trees inside our, where are we, little box. I will put on my greeting. This greeting here was actually given to me as a gift by someone in my team. What a wonderful, wonderful gift. She gave me some stamped greetings ready to go, knowing I didn't have this stamp set. And this is the last one, and I've tried to put them on all really, really special projects. It's just such a really wonderful gift. So I'm using some tiny mini dimensionals on this one, and I'm only putting them just on that bottom corner because it's going to be right on the edge there, and we don't want any adhesive on here to stick the card together. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is I am going to add some little bit of colour to this one. I'm going to add that one behind there, so I can use a dimensional on that one there and this one right over this side, because they'll be hidden. Okay, so pop you in there, and then some dimensionals on the back of my two trees, my two big snowy trees. Now let's have a look, make sure it's lined up quite nicely there so we can see it in all its sparkly glory. And then this little one, and pop you beside, and see all of that that starry background just shows up just nicely behind the trees. And then the last thing I'm going to do, so this still folds flat to be able to be posted, is stick on my writing panel. But because this is a Christmas card, there we go, I want to add some Christmas garlands to it. And to do that, I'm going to use the Merriest Trees dies, and that is these garland ones, and some, I love those little starry bits and pieces. And to make them easier to stick, I'm using some adhesive sheet. That's what the adhesive sheet comes like. I've cut off a strip exactly the same width as my piece of silver foil. I'll just trim it off there. Okay, the adhesive sheet has a join in it, so then you peel that off, stick that on, peel off the other join and stick that on. Okay, and then we've got room for all of these guys to be die cut. Oh, better get my thingo in here. All right, there we are. And obviously I didn't wait long enough for my embossing paste to dry, because there's a few sparkles on my plate there. And then pop you over here and pull off my die. Sometimes if I'm very lucky, I can pull off the die and it leaves the image right behind, so it makes it easier, I think, for me to get them out to stick them on. Oh, that one's fallen out. So on the back of these is the adhesive sheet, so we need to take off the backing. I like to use something sharp, pick it up. There we go. And then that's ready to stick. Okay, so line you up there, pop you there. Now it is sticky behind there, but I'll show you what you can do to reduce that stickiness. I wonder if this will peel off here. There we go. Pop that over there and put my largest star in the middle there. Join those two together. There we go. And a couple more. Oops. Peeled that one straight out, didn't I? Okay. And pop you up there. This one, but so I don't lose it, I'll stick that onto my card. I'll just pull the backing off. Trying to get my tool into the backing there. There we are. oops, one of the little starbursts is a bit crooked. Lovely. Let's see if this one will just peel off. Here we go. And I think that might be all I'll do with the garlands. I don't think I'll use all of them, but I will use these stars because I just love these stars. I think they're beautiful. Peel the back off that one. Pop you over there. And the last star is this little one. Oh, got to peel the back off him. So what do you think of the octagon frame as compared to the square frame? Which one's your favourite? There we are, my diorama card. Same but different. I've got some heat embossing, some embossing, shimmer embossing paste. I've got the stylish shapes frame, and I was going to tell you what you could do to stop that being sticky. Your little embossing buddy that comes in your embossing tray, just pop that next to where the sticky part is, and that will remove all the stick on that bit, so that when you do fold your card flat, it won't stick together. Okay, and that's ready for me to post. Oops, got an extra bit of gold there. Thank you so much for joining me. I won't be here next week. I'll be camping, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. And thank you very much for joining me, and I'll go back and reply to all the comments as soon as I'm finished. I love yous lots. Bye.